Okay, Manny. Who are we probing today? Oh, come on, Manny. You said I could probe somebody.
Hey, this is episode 76. This is Manny Moonraker. And this is my second attempt to record a kind of like a midweek episode. I saw this article on the internet that I figured, hey, this would be a good thing to talk about. But of course, the freaky things continue to happen. So I'm sitting here, I'm recording the episode. I'm about 25 minutes in. And my computer just drops dead. I mean, no blue, nothing, dead. It just goes completely black. Of course, my natural instinct is the power is going out, so I look up. Well, that light's still on. Everything else is still on. It's just my computer just went dead. Like it lost power. So I said, oh, great. So I hit the power button because I thought this was the end. It's over. I've got to get a new one. Well, lo and behold, it just turns back on. So while it's loading, I said, you know what? Let me check my Facebook page and see what's going on. In the middle of checking that crashes. I mean, it can't be a coincidence, is it? I mean, is it just me? Does this happen to you? Do you, like, pick up electronic after electronic and then it just crashes or shuts off, or what the heck is going on? This never used to happen to me. I don't get it. It's really weird. Last week and the week before, like, I know this thing has a Microsoft issue. I get it. I don't understand why I can't fix it and why the tools that Microsoft put out is not able to correct it. But beside that, what the heck is going on? I can't be the only person having so many problems with electronics. I mean, these things are smartphones. Why would they do that? And it's a brand new phone too, by the way. Let me just add that. I've only had it about 3 weeks. Brand new phone. So I don't understand why it's doing that. My computer, it's about 4 years old. I kind of get that one. I put it through the paces. However, the hard drive is 75% free. So there's no reason for it to be laboring so much other than there's something going on. But enough of that. The reason I came on here is because there's a story that's making the waves, cruising through the UFO news. And the reason being is that there is an individual that's missing. A 24-year-old disappeared from his home in Rio Branco in West Brazil. So now, the stories that I've looked at they really don't say anything about like actual UFO stuff being found in his home. But there is a statue of a philosopher from back in the 16th century. This philosopher's name is Giordano Bruno. And we'll get into what happened to Giordano that apparently is a connection to what's going on today. So if you do your search on this, you'll see it. Just look up UFO News, Brazil, 24-year-old, up and missing, vanished. You'll find it. So the headline for the story is UFO Enthusiast mysteriously vanishes, leaving behind a den filled with secret codes, 14 encrypted books, and a statue of a 16th century philosopher who predicted the existence of aliens. So apparently he's been working for months on a project, or what his sister alluded to being a special alien project. The psychology student apparently locked himself in his room hours on end working on this particular project. One of the strange things that you'll find in the articles is that Bruno had no furniture in his room. So let's kind of put this together. You have a psychology student who has no furniture in his room, locked in there hours on end, and he's 24 years old. Don't get me wrong, I understand if because of today's economy, you have to live at home with your parents and your sister, and you're 24, but for the love of Pete, man, why don't you have furniture in your bedroom? So the reports are saying that he had wall-to-wall symbols which people are saying are related to the Illuminati all over his room. And it didn't just end at the walls. Bruno decided to take it to the floor too. So the floor is covered with what they're saying is symbols related to the Illuminati. Now, whether or not somebody has a thing for the Illuminati, nothing you could do about that. Fantastic, great. But what really drew my interest was the statue of Giordano Bruno, the 16th century philosopher. That really is what caught my eye. So I said, let me look up Giordano. What in blue blazes does Giordano have to do with this kid? What I found was a bit fascinating. Very interesting. So Giordano Bruno was Italian, of course, He's from Italy. He hung out, Once in a while for money, he would pose for artists. Get himself sculpted. But Giordano had a thing for Copernicus and his theories. And he decided one day that he's going to expand a little bit on what Copernicus might have missed out on. So his theory was that the distant stars that people were seeing in the sky back in the 16th century were really distant suns. And that these distant suns may also have what we call today exoplanets. Fascinating. Sounds like he's on the right track. What do you think? He unfortunately took it one step further because Giordano decided to say that these stars that are 4.2 far may also have life. Now you know that Giordano was in Italy in the 16th century, and the people that ruled the schools back then was the Catholic Church. So lo and behold, Giordano spent 7 years imprisoned and basically facing a court for heresy. So some of the things that his 7-year inquisition included was basically holding opinions contrary to the Catholic Church. Also having opinions contrary to the faith, the Trinity, the divinity of Christ, and the idea of incarnation. Apparently, somewhere along the way, Giordano might have said something about the virginity of the Virgin Mary and the fact that she was the mother of Jesus, because that was one of the charges they put on him during his little inquisition. Another charge was the fact that he claimed the existence of other worlds and their eternity. And the one that really kind of got him good was the fact that he was considered to be dealing with magic and divination. Well, I don't know about you guys, but this guy sounds pretty normal to me. But he was at the wrong place at the wrong time. So Giordano Bruno was burned like any good witch. He was burned to death. That was his sentence, and that's it. Now, there are some indications that Giordano might have had some connection to the Freemasons. Maybe that's where the Illuminati thing comes in. Maybe that's what they're seeing in today's case. So it really isn't clear what exactly Bruno Borges was working on down in West Brazil. But the guy's been missing now so I guess he was missing since last week. And the fact is, if you walk into a room and you see a bunch of symbols all over the wall, all over the floor, and no furniture, you kind of get to thinking something's wrong here. But it's an open case. People are searching for him, and we wish him the best of luck. And, we hope we'll send some prayers out to the family because they're dealing with this. But the authorities in Brazil are hoping that everything he scribbled all over the place gives him an idea of where he took off to. So while this is being touted as a ufology UFO connection, I'm not too sure it is. But it's an ongoing situation. It's a story that we will shortly, I'm sure, find out where he was at, who he was with, and whether or not there was foul play. Alright, well, in less somber news, Facebook has finally released the UFO Buster Radio page back to the podcast. So now we have two pages. We have the Manny Moonraker page and the UFO Buster Radio page. So you're welcome to visit either one, like, share, follow, or whatever it is you do. So I'm going to go ahead and put the link to this story regarding our missing 24-year-old in Brazil. I'm also going to post it on the Facebook pages if you want to go there and check it out. And I might get real fancy and even tweet it out. Why not, right? I also want to thank the cast and crew of the Alienators movie for coming on the show not once, twice, but 3 times. It was a great interview both times, actually all 3 times. And if you didn't get a chance to listen to the last episode, episode 75, you want to listen to it and you want to listen to the whole thing. It was a great interview and we have a great surprise at the end of the show. And it's the only explicit episode we have so far. Now, if you recall back in January, if you're a long-time listener, I said that eventually I was going to become unhinged and there were going to be a lot of explicit episodes. It hasn't happened yet. We're in April, and you'll see in the last episode why there's an explicit rating on the show. But you got to check it out, and you got to share it. Sharing is caring. Share it, like, follow. Come on, y'all. You know the drill. So I figure since I'm on here, we should take out one of the latest MUFON reports and see what they got out there. Alright, so today's MUFON report comes from Corpus Christi, Texas. Gotta love it down there. So the report number is 82993. And this time, hopefully, I will get that link in there because apparently the last time I did a MUFON report, I copied it, I wrote it up, I pasted it in there right before uploading the episode, but it didn't make it. So like I said, man, I have like a string of weird occurrences around electronics. And there's another example that I forgot about, but there it is. I had a flashback. Dagnabbit. Alright, let's go to Texas, Corpus Christi. And this is a doozy. You guys are going to love this one. The title on this one is Encounter. I'm reading this verbatim. Just bear with me. Encounter with blonder hair, female, human-like in my home. So a blonder, I don't know what they mean by blonder. If maybe the guy is blonde and this so-called alien female is blonder than he is. there was like a blonde contest between them. I'm not really sure what this is. Well, I wasn't until I looked at it, because the story is very peculiar. I'm not even sure why he put this in here for MUFON. But maybe MUFON has different divisions that can handle things like this. So according to this, the incident occurred on the 5th of April, but they reported it on the 6th. And you'll see why, because the guy's getting no help at all at home. So he says, "Hello. I spent 21 years in the military, and I'm not sure how to address this. Already I have a problem. It sounds like he's in confession somewhere. But I have experienced the strangest event. What I thought to be a dream at first, but now realizing I may have had an alien encounter. The incident occurred on April 5th, approximately between 2 and 3 a.m. in Corpus Christi, which is located in the state of Texas. I was sleeping. I was asleep and thus saw a blonde female human-like entity, and she was on top of me. I'm taking a strategic pause. So he's telling us he was asleep between 2 and 3 in the morning, and he saw a blonde female on top of him. What the f***? And he continues, "The experience felt so real, as I can feel her body against my own. However, everything felt like I was in a daze, similar to when you receive general anesthesia, the point just before the anesthesia takes effect, the daze. I think that's also called the marijuana. I am trying not to freak out, but the encounter and my wife," well, like I said, I'm reading this verbatim, so that sentence makes no sense. Let me just go a little slower. "I am trying to not to freak out, but the encounter and my wife think it was just a dream." So it's kind of like, it's like he's saying that this blonder alien thinks that it was just a dream, and his wife does too. And he continues, "And even after telling my wife more than once, she does not believe me." It's got to be pretty ugly. "I'm not sure what to do, and I may have had a similar experience since I was a child. I actually feel embarrassed, and this event felt sexual. I could... oh, gosh. I could just forget about it, but this bothers me a great deal, and I have no one I can truly share this with. They probably think I would be crazy." So he's basically asking you, the MUFON audience, can you help? What should I do? Frankly, to me, it sounds like he wants to make sure he's having safe sex, because you don't know where this blonder chick came from. This is scary. And, he says he has no one to turn to, but he just turned to everyone on the internet that follows UFOs. So listen, this is case number 82993. If you've ever woken up in the early morning hours with a blonder alien on you that gets you aroused, please contact this individual. Let them know what you did. Robo, can you tell everyone how they can reach us?
Don't forget to visit us at ufobusterradio.com, Instagram, Twitter, and on Facebook. They hate us 'cause they ain't us.
Thanks, Robo. You're the best. Anyway, so I'm sitting around because I'm having all these technology issues, and it's been for a while now. And I have been trying to get this show basically on YouTube. And there's a problem. So because anything that I connect to this laptop actually will not work. So after having the interview with Kyle from UFO Proof, he said, "Hey, Manny, why don't you come on my show and we can do an interview there and talk to my viewers?" And if you've ever been on UFO Proof, you'll see that Kyle will do live videos and he'll have quite a few people on there and they all talk about UFOs. Historical UFOs, incidents, they'll get on there and give theories. You know, sometimes the conversation goes into other avenues, but that's okay. The idea is that these guys are sharing information with each other. So I say, "Hey Kyle, great. I'd love to do that. I need to upgrade my camera, and once I do that, I'll get on." Well, it's not happening. I've purchased a camera. The computer, thanks to the Microsoft update issue, will not allow the camera to be installed. So that's where I'm at. So I said, you know what? I need to put some more content on the UFO Buster Radio YouTube channel. So I'm sending out a challenge to you guys, the listening audience. Now I know if you're like me, you're sitting at your desk somewhere, or you're at home, you're driving somewhere, whatever it is that you normally do to listen to podcasts. I listen to a podcast when I am sitting at my desk. Sitting at my desk, I want to block everybody else out, so I put on a podcast, chill, do my work. But I have a challenge for you guys. And this is my challenge. It's a little outlandish, but I know that there's people out there that will actually do it. My challenge to you is this. While you're listening to your podcast, have someone record you. Stand up wherever you are and say out loud, "I listen to UFO Buster Radio and Manny Moonraker. Now what?" That's it. Record that, send me the clip, and I will stick it on the YouTube channel. Can you do it? Can you just stand up, have someone record you, and say, "I listen to UFO Buster Radio and Manny Moonraker, now what?" As you can tell, I do things a little differently. It's not your usual UFO show. The times have changed. The times have changed. So in any case, I leave you with this. So that's the challenge, folks. Can you do it? Send me the video, and I might even send you something back. So the last item for today in my little midweek broadcast is that we are still looking forward to the Aurora alien encounter on April 22nd. It is a Saturday. It starts at 10 a.m. It's going to be a lot bigger than last year. I've got the one and only Ronnie Dawson. We'll be hanging out with him. I'm trying to get together some trinkets to kind of give out to the people so they can remember me by, and the podcast, of course. But I hope that some of you who are listening right now, besides Toby from Secret Transmission, will be there, stop by the table and say hello, meet Ronnie, because really he's the guy that's important in this conversation. You know, just stop by and say hello and join us in this experience. Now, I'm not getting paid by the city of Aurora. And just to go back and kind of make the disclaimer, I really don't get paid by anybody that comes on the show. I do it because I want to know. And I broadcast it because I think you want to know as well. So, April 22nd, be there or be square. Take the challenge, send me the clip, I'll stick it on YouTube. It might even send you something in return. A little trinket. This is Manny Moonraker and I'm signing off. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper.